A man who escaped custody while at court last month was on Tuesday apprehended by the police during an operation in Frontier District St. Mary. He is 31-year-old O'Shane Scott, otherwise called Chin Chin, a laborer of Manchester Lane Cox Street in Port Maria. Scott escaped custody on Friday, November 29. He was scheduled to appear before the Port Maria Circuit Court to face charges of attempted rape, larceny, assault at common law, and unlawful wounding. The police reported that Scott was being escorted by a police corporal from the restroom back to the holding area. During the escort, he reportedly assaulted the corporal and managed to flee through the main gate onto Warner Street. During the operation on Tuesday, the Port Maria police report that Scott was walking along Warner Street about 8:04 p.m. when the police saw him and asked him for his identity, which he failed to provide. He was accosted and taken into custody and was later identified. Cops on Tuesday seized an M16 rifle in George Plain from Westmoreland. Reports from the Savannah Lamar police are that about 3:30 p.m., police, acting on information, conducted a search of an open field where the firearm was found in a bag. No one was arrested in connection to the seizure. The investigation continues. Tragedy struck in Montego Bay, St. James, on Christmas morning when a female sex worker was fatally shot by a police officer. The incident occurred shortly before 7 a.m. at the Old Shoes Market in downtown Montego Bay. According to reports, the woman was chasing a man with a knife when the officer intervened, ordering her to stop. However, she allegedly ignored the command and continued her pursuit, prompting the officer to open fire. The woman was pronounced dead at the scene. The Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, has launched a probe into the incident. The police are investigating the death of a woman who was struck by a Toyota coaster bus in St. Elizabeth yesterday. Dead is Kimberly Simpson of Goshen District in Santa Cruz. Reports detail that about 9:45 p.m., Simpson was walking along a roadway when she was hit by the bus. The woman was taken to the Mandeville Region Hospital where she succumbed to injuries. The driver has been warned of prosecution. The Santa Cruz Traffic Department is looking into the matter.
The Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay has enhanced its immigration and customs processing with the installation of 2 new e-gates, among other digital solutions, in time for the busy holiday season. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang toured the airport on Saturday to observe the operation of the e-gates specifically designed for Jamaican travelers. Dr. Chang told journalists that the e-gates would allow travelers who complete their C5 immigration forms online to move swiftly through the arrival process.
Everyone knows that we're in the winter season, which is a peak time for tourists coming in, and the mid-December to the end of December is when we have a huge number of Jamaicans coming as well. It impacts on the whole operation of the airport. So I had to see how the operational activities are proceeding for both immigration and customs, but in particular immigration.
The airport has also established 100 checking points for incoming passengers, incorporating agents, kiosks, and e-gates. Dr. Chang said this digital transformation was part of the government's broader initiative to modernize Jamaica's administrative systems. He commended the team at the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, for their efforts in ensuring the smooth operation of the system despite the challenges posed by the busy season. Approximately 2,000 residents in the Harmons Valley area of Manchester are set to benefit from a multi-million-dollar water project which will supply 60,000 gallons of the commodity daily. The initiative is a partnership among the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Jamalco, the Manchester Parish Development Committee and other stakeholders. The Harmons Valley Water Project is valued at approximately $327.4 million, with an estimated completion date of mid-2026. It includes the installation of a solar-powered water pump, as well as the construction of a pump house and utility infrastructure. Jamalco is providing the well, which has already been developed. State Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Franklin Witter, provided the details during a recent community symposium held at the Tropics View Hotel in Mandeville. He says the project will provide a more reliable and energy-efficient water solution to residents in 7 communities that are impacted by bauxite mining. The state minister is urging support for the undertaking from the residents and stakeholder entities such as Rural Water Supply Limited and the National Water Commission. The University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI, has been gifted with an ultrasound machine for the fetal diagnosis and therapy unit. This will allow the hospital to provide advanced imaging to check on the health of babies and ensure greater accuracy in detecting, diagnosing and treating complications to improve antenatal care. The machine, valued at more than $96,000, was donated by the National Health Fund NHF earlier this month. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says it is an important addition to the maternal care being provided at the institution.
This is a particularly important area, the whole issue of fertility and fetal diagnostic and therapy that is required to enhance the quality of both the experience of delivering but also the youngsters that are delivered.
Chief Executive Officer of the NHF, Everton Anderson, says the agency will continue to make investments to alleviate strains and reduce gaps in the healthcare system and provide coverage for illnesses.
Today's event is a manifestation of how we improve access through our institutional benefits program. Each time we give a grant for the purchase of equipment, infrastructural development, or even research, we are improving access.
The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, is stepping up its crackdown on predial larceny with a notable increase in vehicle seizures. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green discloses that the JCF has seized 19 vehicles linked to agricultural theft since the start of the year, when compared to a total of 8 in 2023. According to Minister Green, the mobility of the predial larceny unit has been boosted to strengthen its operation during the Christmas season.
We would have just gotten 30 motor vehicles from the Japanese government, and a number of them are earmarked for predial larceny prevention.
Minister Green was addressing a recent press conference held at the ministry's headquarters in Hope Gardens. Head of the Predial Larceny Prevention Coordination Unit, Superintendent Oral Pasco, adds that as of November 2024, the JCF has arrested 86 individuals for predial larceny, surpassing last year's total of 78 arrests. There are also 150 cases before the courts, with 16 summonses issued this year, up from just 9 in 2023.
Whether you're in Kingston or in the country, whether you're producing division like, for example, St. Elizabeth, St. Mary, to actually ramp up the stop and search, the VCPs and so forth, and we would have seen that would have probably suppressed some of the reports that would have gotten. And of course, this is the ongoing thing.
And finally, the Jamaica Constabulary Force says focus is also being placed on traffic management, with the deployment of officers across town centres to ensure safety and public order. This is being led by the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTEB. Superintendent Lloyd Darby says when there is gridlock at one intersection, it impacts the entire road network. To help combat that, he says high-traffic red zones and moderately congested orange zones will be monitored more closely to address peak hour challenges and seasonal surges in road usage.
So we place officers strategically at points, and they will see to it that the intersection is not blocked and that the traffic proceeds. Even if it proceeds slowly, with time, it will run off.
Superintendent Darby is advising motorists that the JCF will not be lenient in its enforcement of the law as it manages the high traffic areas.
Enforcement through the issuing of tickets, especially, is a deterrent. It is what we want people to see that we are doing so that they don't do the same thing.
And that's
Investigators from the Westmoreland Traffic Department are probing the circumstances surrounding a fatal collision that claimed the lives of 2 men on the Nonpareil Main Road in the parish on Wednesday, December 25. Dead are 22-year-old Andre Clark, otherwise called Boogeyman, a bike taxi operator of Whitehall in the parish, and 24-year-old Tavon Allen of Lioneltown, Clarendon. Reports from the Negro police are that about 6:30 a.m., Clark was driving a motorcycle with Allen as a pillion passenger. At a certain point on the roadway, he lost control of the motorcycle, which collided into a large boulder. Both men were flung from the motorcycle and sustained multiple serious injuries. They were taken to hospital, where they were both pronounced dead.